Some people don't want to miss out on the house, location, schools, so they'll use other avenues to negotiate a cheaper price. I've also had lots of clients, particularly younger couples who are restricted to a budget, so they want to buy, say, in Brunswick. They know the house is going to have issues. They know you're a registered builder, so they sort of ask your advice, but how would I tackle it? What's the process? And we can also help them out.
Everything is generally fixable. It's just that people draw a line in the sand as to how much they want to spend fixing something or whether it gives them a bad feeling about it.
Now, I know from personal experience that when you're looking at the property market, as you said, it's very tight across Australia. And, you know, to save money, a lot of people might be like thinking of where they can save costs. Maybe they skip out on the building and pest inspection. What are the benefits of getting a building and pest inspection?
Well, I think for the cost, the average cost of having an inspection done compared to the value of the house, which more than likely is going to be the biggest spend you'll ever make in your lifetime, adding to the fact that most people don't really know what they're looking at, what the problems of a house could be. That cost is offset against, $500,000 build or even $1 million build. To me, I think that generally is not a lot of money for peace of mind.
Yeah. And I mean, you're looking at a couple of $100 compared to what could be thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in repairs. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity that if you do find faults or defects, you can also negotiate, and you know the problems are there, but it gives you the opportunity to negotiate a price, maybe to go towards the cost of rectifications. Mm-hmm. Some people don't want to miss out on the house, location, schools, so they'll use other avenues to negotiate a cheaper price. But they have the information of our inspections to go off.
I want to talk about when is the best time to get a building inspection. So let's say I'm interested in a property. Maybe I want to put in an offer. When do I get my inspection done? How long was it going to take me?
Generally, most of my inspections will be the offer has already been submitted with a condition of a building inspection to be done in the contract of sale. So it's all been accepted. We can generally do an inspection within 48 hours. The client loves the house. They love the area, as I mentioned. The inspection gets carried out, then hopefully everything is okay to go ahead with the sale. That's the last stumbling block. If we start to find these major problems or structural defects, then it becomes very tricky, as in negotiating.
I was about to say, have you had instances where you've done the inspection for someone, you found some significant issues, and they've had to go back to the real estate, either withdraw the sale or negotiate the price? Has that happened to you?
Yeah, quite often.
Quite often, okay.
If you sort of break up what we're inspecting, we're inspecting 100-year-old homes right up to brand new homes. So there's a massive cross-section there. Having said that, properties are hard to secure too. Like the real estate market's pretty tough to actually get into and buy something within your affordability range. So people are under a lot of pressure to try to find something, and I get a lot of negotiation issues after the inspection. Conveyancers ringing you, real estate agents questioning your reports. So we have a lot of that problem. In the end, we represent the clients and we do the best for them.
Is it the same in Queensland, Adrian?
I had a client beginning of last year that I did 4 houses in a row for, because he was flying up from down here actually to buy a house up there, and he'd come up to do an inspection. We would go over the whole house, and then I'd give him all the outcome, and he pulled out of the contract out of the first 3 based on the findings that I came across.
Do you remember what those findings were?
Those couple of properties had termite damage, had drainage issues, a little bit of structural issues. And so after the first 2, I advised him not to fly to Queensland until such times I'd done the inspection, given him the report and talked him through it. And then the 4th property he bought. So it's wise to do it, but generally your contract is based on people have a contract subject to finance and then building and pest inspection. So you normally got 7 to 10 days to get that done. They engage someone like us. Our report is a turnaround of generally 24 hours. And then we give them their advice, and they can relax or go and continue with their contract or pull out of it. But certainly I have had people pull out. they give you a call a couple of months later and going, I say, what happened with that property? You didn't buy it. They're going, oh, yeah, no, not after what you told us about it. So we've gone on to something else. And everything is generally fixable. It's just that people have draw a line in the sand as to how much they want to spend fixing something, or whether it gives them a bad feeling about it, things they didn't realise. And so by us doing a good inspection, a thorough inspection on the property and showing them the ins and outs and its personality, let's say, they can make their decision on whether or not they feel comfortable buying it, whether they like it anymore.
Absolutely. It feels very much that the building and pest inspection allows people to make an informed choice about the property. And again, you've talked about it before, but giving them peace of mind. Because, you know, there might be people who are happy to take on a termite problem property, but there might be some people who are not. Some people might not want any chips or major scuffs, but other people might be absolutely fine doing some patch jobs. That's fine. So it's all about informing the client, letting them make the choice as to whether that's what they want to take on. Because it's a big decision, right?
It is. I've also had lots of clients, particularly younger couples, who are restricted to a budget. So they want to buy, say, in Brunswick, and they're restricted to a budget. They know the house is going to have issues. They know you're a registered builder, so they sort of ask your advice, how would I tackle this job, knowing I have to spend a lot of money fixing the property, but how would I tackle it? What's the process? And we can also help them out. You talk to them as a builder-client relationship rather than an inspector-client relationship. So I like helping out people like that too, because you can advise them, help them along their journey.
Yeah. And again, the benefit of having a licensed builder as your inspector, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. Now, when it comes to a private sale, people can put in an offer and then make the offer condition to a building and pest inspection. That's quite normal in Victoria. It's quite normal in Queensland.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to auctions, however, which are quite popular these days, it's a little bit different. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you need to have the building and pest inspection carried out before the auction?
Yes. And generally that's the case. Quite often the vendor will have an inspection report done prior to auction to give to potential buyers, so they already are aware of the condition of the property. And like I was saying, quite often though, the people want to get their own done because they just don't have the same faith in an unknown building inspector as they do in one they trust. So we still go in to do them before the auction. The difference is that they have to have the answer, they have to have the report done so they have the information about the property so they can decide how much they want to spend on the Saturday when it's auction time. Because everybody gets emotional and everybody throws money at it, you get excited. So you need to know what the defects are, what the problems are. We don't advise on how much it's going to cost you, but whether there potentially could be a larger risk, let's say, a larger cost. So yes, you do an inspection before an auction, yes.
Yes, I can't imagine a worse feeling than having successfully bid on an auction and then find out it's going to cost you an extra $40,000 in repairs.
True.
So getting that report done, so important.
Get more news and advice by downloading the RACV app to stay up to date with all our latest home, motoring and travel content.